We're in for a special video today. The purpose of the universe is to become conscious because once you become conscious, then you can do or find out what you're going to do when you become conscious. So there's 2 steps. Most people have no clue about these 2 steps, though they do have similar experience with the number 2. They're both equally as important. So becoming conscious, what happens when you do this, you can connect to the spiritual world. You can connect to God. There might not even be a word for it. Some people like to call it their higher selves. What will happen is you will get direct downloads, transmissions, which are silent in nature, so to speak. Because when your mind talks, this is the biggest disguise, the biggest delusion. When your mind talks, you get disconnected from reality. You get disconnected from the source, from your environment. So when you're in your head, you're not alert. When you're in your head, you're not present to what's going on around you. You're disconnected from literally disconnected. Let's just say there's a fire going on. There's maybe someone hunting you that you don't know, maybe an animal stalking you. So many things. Just maybe the environment's giving off a dark energy, a negative energy. If you're stuck in the mind, you're not gonna feel that. When you're stuck in the mind, you are not experiencing reality and seeing what it really is. You're not getting your answers. You're not getting these downloads on what to do, what you should do with your life. That's why most people are lost and confused. That's why the world is corruption, and people are slaves, we can say, to their own mind. But it's other people's mind that have them in control. Mind control. Becoming conscious simply means watching your thoughts, not really giving them attention. You don't have to be fascinated with your thoughts. They don't mean nothing. Be aware of your emotions, because you're only sad when you are unaware that the sadness is coming or that it's there. If you've seen sadness coming, would you really be that sad? No, you wouldn't. There's no argument against that. You just have to experience it. So being aware of your emotions, it doesn't make you emotionless. It rises you above the emotions. So technically, when you rise above the emotions, you feel better. It goes thinking, emotions, and God mode. God mode is above all, and it feels the best. You can feel any emotion you want. And you can think about whatever you want. It's not going to be the supreme. It never will be. Doesn't mean you can't have empathy for people either. This isn't nothing intellectual. Nothing intellectual here at all. Doesn't matter how intellectual you are, because life is a feeling. I don't care about intellectuals. So the first one, becoming conscious. The second part, or number 2, the purpose of the universe, of life. Because when you become conscious, your mind silence or begins to silence more and more and more. And then you feel what you need to do. You don't think about what you need to do. And maybe you will think about certain things that need done in this intellectual society that people are ran by and corrupted by. 2 would be to follow your heart. Because your heart, symbolically, is stronger than the mind. I don't know all the etymology and how it springs, but it conquers the mind. Having a heart, which most people don't have either. But you can still, it's very close to becoming conscious. I mean, it is, but consciousness is a little bit different because you can still follow your heart if you actually, it's the same thing, but consciousness is dropping your thoughts more and more and more, whereas following your heart, someone could have a bunch of thoughts on their head. Maybe we'll talk about a famous person, Post Malone. He followed his heart. Probably did, unless there's something more big that he wants to do that he didn't do. It's that thing you always wanted to do deep down that most people don't do. Because most people don't do it. So even though they're flooded with thoughts and emotions and feelings about certain things, you can still actually follow your path, which would be secondary to becoming conscious. But but 1 or 2 is grand. 1 or 2 is grand. You might still suffer when you follow your heart in that path, but it will still lead you on the right way. This is very simple. There is no science for this. Do you understand that there is nothing, there is no science, no papers written down, maybe an image if that, but there is no science for this. The undefined can't be defined. The limitless, if you try to limit it, you only get a limited recognition, not the real thing from it. So when you follow your heart, at least you're doing something right. I don't need science to tell me what is right. I feel. The reason why when you follow your heart, you do something right is because it feels right. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Have a nice one.